But in life, you can never be certain about anything. You can never be certain about what sorts of events might occur in your life. You could be working. Hi guys, I'm Priyam from For Humans. Welcome back to another video on mental health. Today we'll be talking about anxiety, and we'll be talking about free will. We'll be talking about some other esoteric stuff. So we are going to talk about some interesting stuff today, and to enjoy the most out of this video, I would say go grab some tea, coffee or water if you want. And if you're someone who has anxiety as a major issue or challenge in life, then I want you to go grab a notebook and a pen, because I'll be walking you through certain things and I'll be asking you to write certain things down. And I want you to do that to get the most out of this video, right? So the effort is to make sure that any viewer who watches this video today never ever falls victim to his or her anxiety, because anxiety is always going to be there. It's just how we respond to it that matters, right? So let's start by asking ourselves a question: that what are we anxious about, right? Like certain people are mostly anxious about certain things in life, right? So I want you to write that question in a notebook, that what are you anxious about, right? For example, it could be in terms of finances, having a job, career. It could be in terms of your health. Maybe you're anxious about your health issues. Maybe you're anxious about dying out of an illness, whatever it is. Or it could be or you could be anxious about relationships, love, maybe being alone, things like that. These are the major categories that most people are anxious about, right? So if you have any other thing that causes you to be anxious, then you can add that in your answer, right? So question yourself that and answer that question for yourself. You can take your time and pause the video, right? So if you're done with answering that question, then second question I want you to ask is, what can you do in that area of life that can cause you to be less anxious about it, right? For example, if you are anxious about your health, then maybe you can cut out on certain foods, maybe oily foods or foods with a lot of sugar in it, or maybe you can cut out on alcohol or smoking, on a regular basis. You can start adding certain foods that naturally boosts your immune system, right? So you can do that. Now if it's about wealth, then maybe you can reduce your expenses, maybe you can start saving, maybe you can start learning about investments, all sorts of anything that you think you can start doing it to change that situation in your life. Write those things down, right? If it's about love, relationships and being lonely, then maybe you can work on yourself and make yourself a very fine man or woman, a very suitable partner for anyone to have, right? So you can add those things in that question, in that area, if you have that area of life which causes you to be anxious, right? And once you're done with it, now close your notebook and listen to me. After mentioning all those things that you could do in life, I want you to make a timetable of it. I want you to assign few hours. You could start by just half an hour every day, right? And once you start investing your hours in those areas of life to refine yourself with consistency, you are very likely to be in a better place than you are right now. But it does not ensure that the things that are making you anxious will change or will manifest the way you want, because that is not the nature of life, right? No doubt that you would be in a far better situation than you were before, because action and anxiety do not coexist. It's either action or it's anxiety, right? But in life, you can never be certain about anything. You can never be certain about what sorts of events might occur in your life. You could be working hard on creating something, building something. You could have given 7 8 years of your life, maybe half of your life in building something, and next thing you know that people are not acknowledging it, right? You could have done the work on yourself. You could be a very fine man or woman, but next thing you know, uh, you're not meeting anybody who likes you for who you are, right? So should you be devastated about it? Well, if you want, you can, but that won't bring anything good, neither for you nor for anybody else in your family or people who love you, right? Because I want you to know this: most of the events in life, most of the circumstances that you go through in life are predetermined. You don't have much say of what situations you will be going through in life. Things like your parents, your siblings, what kind of education will you have, what kind of career will you have, also what kind of person are you going to marry. I should not be bringing all that stuff in this video, right? Most of these things are predetermined, and who decides that? You decide that. This may sound esoteric, right? You can close the video right now if you don't want to proceed with it, right? You decide that, because you're definitely not a machine. And when do you decide that? Why don't you know about it? You decide it right before you enter your mother's womb. You decided that this and this, because life is all about experiences, guys, right? Yeah, just like a movie. When you go watch a movie, you watch its trailer, you already know that this movie has this and this actor, this and this actress, this and this story, kind of a thing. Whether it's an action movie or a romance drama movie or a sci-fi movie, you already know about it, right? And you can very much guess the entire story of it, right? But you still go for it. Why do you go for it? Because you want to experience the movie. Maybe you think that you might have some new experience from it, and you might learn something new about it, about life or anything. You might go for simply just inspiration, motivation, maybe. That's why you go for a movie. And that's how life is supposed to be. If you do everything that is in your hands and then surrender to life, let life surprise you, let it excite you, right? But that is the problem with most of us. Like, we are so afraid to surrender, right? But surrendering doesn't mean that you would be ignorant in life. You would do anything without thinking about its consequences. No, you do what you feel passionate about. You do what you are drawn towards doing. Some people are drawn to create something. Some people are drawn to certain things in life. And how do you know what you're drawn to? Well, you know it by following your heart. Because your heart knows what you came here to do. Why does it know that? Because you, who is not the body or the mind, the soul that we identify with, you exist here in the heart, right? That's why in the medical science they say that the very first cell that starts vibrating after the formation of a zygote is the heart cell. And they don't know why is it that, right? And after knowing everything that we just talked about in this video, there is absolutely no reason to react to your anxiety, right? Because anxiety will never fade away. Why? Because it's a messenger. Just like every negative emotion that you feel in life, they're more likely navigation system for you to tell you that what in the moment you need to be focusing on, what in the moment you need to give your attention to, right? Because at the end of the day, life is all about gaining experiences. It's about learning wisdom, and you cannot learn unless you have the wisdom to enjoy. So with that said, guys, I hope this video helped you. I would end this video with a statement that do everything that is in your hands and then be willing to surrender. And if you just take that particular thing, if you just take that thing from this video, that do everything that is in your hands and then be willing to surrender, you will most definitely lead a very peaceful, productive and rich life. So if you like this video, guys, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you're struggling in life, you want to have one-on-one sessions with me, reach out to me on Instagram. Links are in the description below. And I will see you in my next video. Till then, do well.